John in Kissimmee? Kissimmee? Seriously? Kissimmee, Florida? Oh, come and kiss me. Sorry, I'm in a goofy mood. I have to say, I really like the clean industrial design of the PMG Signature series. There you are. There she. Isn't that beautiful? That's in 50 years of doing this. This is by far the nicest that we've ever done, for sure. And this whole idea of the swoosh and the 1.5-inch thick front panel and all, just the way it's all built, was from Studio 63 in Miles in Canada. He did a great job. So, Miles, thank you. You did a great job. Okay. Now, I know what's important is on the inside, and that's important too, but what's on the outside matters. I am a professional graphic designer who once wanted to pursue industrial design, so I can appreciate the aesthetics of simple, clean designs of the PMG Signature series. Yep. I must admit, however, when I look at the components from the Perfect Wave series, here they are, in comparison, the PMG Signature series, let's see, I tend to think of the large printers from the 90s. I don't know if that looks like a printer. Does it look like a printer? Well, whatever. Do you think the beautiful design aesthetic of the PMG Signature series will influence any visual changes to the chassis and front fascia of the other line of components? Well, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know that we would ever emulate. I mean, this, first off, if you look at this curve, I don't know how much you can see through the video, and all of this is all machining. This doesn't just happen. Like this front panel is extruded. So I don't know how many of you are familiar with, metalwork. We can get into that a little bit, but there are processes in building chassis and things that when you jump into this whole idea of building something and looking at what it costs to build it, there's all kinds. There's material costs, which generally tend to be fairly low relative to the labor parts of it, okay? So the actual, you just take a hunk of aluminum and steel, you put it in, and that's, I don't know, $50, $60, whatever it is. But the hundreds of dollars, in some cases upwards of $500 or $600 that we as a manufacturer have to pay for a chassis winds up being the machining costs, the finishing costs, I mean, on and on. When, like, for example, here I've gotten off on a thing. For example, when we paint or anodize, which is the finish on the outside of a product, we have to pay somebody by hand to mask off certain areas so that when the chassis all goes together, it's conductive for the ground plane, which keeps the EMI and all of that stuff. There's all these little things that go on in a chassis that people don't really realize until you get into the thick of the thing, right? But anyway, so this chassis, in order to keep its costs down, which is, we try and do the best job we can in sturdiness, manufacturing, functionality, and beauty. And I really like this. In its day, this was a gorgeous design, the Perfect Wave design. But, I mean, it's coming up on 15 years, and things change. Look at your cars, for gosh sake. Anyway, so this is extruded. And extruded, think of a tube of toothpaste. And when you squeeze out a tube of some toothpaste, you're extruding it through that little hole. You got a big thing and you're pushing it through. That's an extrusion process, and they do the same thing with aluminum. They take a big hunk of aluminum and they squeeze it through a die, and you get this shape. And you see extrusions everywhere. Once you learn about how an extrusion works, you start seeing them everywhere. Doors, window jambs, anything. Cars have tons of extruded parts. And it's a lower cost way of machining something. But the most expensive that you can do is this, like the PMG. This just starts out as an 1.5-inch thick piece of aluminum, and it's whacked off on the sides, and then it's put into a mill, and it's laboriously cut and carved and polished, and oh my God, I mean this is expensive, really expensive. And then you got sheet metal in back and all of that. So I don't think we'll ever do anything like this on a lower cost line, for sure. We simply cannot afford it. It's really expensive. But on lower cost things using clever extrusion processes, there will be new looks coming throughout all of PS Audio products. How about that as a tease? All right. Thanks. Thanks for being here, and thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of the PS Audio family. I appreciate it. Bye.